Drake May wasn't the only quarterback to get hurt yesterday.
Jordan Love, we just talked about that.
Jordan Love as well, but I got in here pretty early this morning because I wanted to get to work with the graphics department because there was one other quarterback that also got hurt. We have some trivia for you.
I like trivia.
Yeah. It's a who said this. I was tired. I ain't gonna lie. That was a lot of running right there.
Okay.
I didn't think I was going to be able to go that next play. I just needed a break right there. Now, was it A, Phidippides?
The Greek philosopher.
Exactly. The creator of the marathon.
What's his name? Phidippides?
Phidippides.
Okay, I don't think it was Phidippides. I don't think it was Marcus Luttrell either.
I saw the movie. I assume he would have said, I'm a bit tired.
Lone survivor, American hero. I don't think this was it. I know what you're doing.
Big Mike is... It's kind of heavy. A little,
He
says that after every meal.
Yeah, Mike McCarthy. Yeah, he has said that before.
It could be Mike.
He needs breaks all the time. Or was it D. Anthony Richardson? Now, I don't know if you guys wanted to. I thought initially this was Phidippides.
You put it together. This is your trivia, and you thought it was somebody else?
Well, no, the quote was presented to me. It kind of like a scroll from the heavens, if you will.
Who is Phidippides? He's the one who created the marathon, right?
Yeah.
He ran 26.2 miles, and I think he inevitably died from it or whatever.
Yeah, he ran from Marathon to Athens to announce
He was strapped.
Yeah, absolutely strapped. 26.2 miles, which I guess people just do now, but I think he passed away is kind of the story. That's who Phidippides is.
Yep.
Marcus Luttrell, lone survivor. I get what you're trying to do here, okay?
Yeah,
obviously bad. Mike McCarthy, I don't know why. I can only imagine why you put him in there.
His finger needs a break.
But obviously it was D. Anthony Richardson. I don't love it. Okay, it was. Okay.
Good guess.
I don't know how you didn't get it right, boys.
You're 1 for 1.
I hope you're happy.
said that?
He was a little too transparent. Okay, and it was he didn't sell it either. You know, he made an incredible play. Made an incredible play, threw a guy off, one shake, how you doing? And he even would go on after the game and say, like, I know that my completion percentage is what it is, but I'm a running quarterback, and there's really nobody other than Lamar that could do what I could do, and he showcases that. And boy, it is awesome whenever he gets there. But this week, as everybody's talked about already on TV, on the internet, and my tweet was kind of broadcasted to the world. I'd never seen it before. So when a guy taps out of a game, big third down, AFC South championship basically on the line here for the lead in the division. Everything that we've been this year, massive game. It's the Houston Texans. Normally, this second game between these two teams at the end of the year, because there's a lot on the line. Guess what? There's a lot on the line right now, especially whenever you talk about playoffs and moving forward. He makes a massive play, takes a big-time shot there, but bounces up. This guy's tough. I like that. I was excited. Tough guy. Takes a shot, gets right back up, toss. I've never seen that before. I've never seen that before in my life out of a quarterback, legitimately. And I know I echo the sentiments of everybody else that has tweeted or talked about it or done anything about it. An NFL quarterback doesn't tap out of a game, especially if they're able to go play. That's kind of a part of the position. That is kind of a thing. You're the face of the franchise. Whenever you're tapping out, whenever you're healthy, what message are you sending to everybody in the building, everybody in the locker room, the entire city, the fan base? And I think what it does is it makes people think, like, get this guy the fuck off of our team. Yeah. You're a professional athlete, okay? You're 22 years old. This is the middle of the season. This is week 8. You're supposed to be in mid-season form. That's what people talk about. This is the middle. Well, he had a hurt hip, they say. He had a hurt hip there. He's only been back for 2 weeks. It's like you can do cardio, okay, and you could do conditioning with a hurt hip and everything like that, and they have all that shit in the building. So I wonder, strength coaches, what the hell is going on over there? How is it? And then for him to give this answer immediately after the game whenever he was asked about it, certainly alarming.
Man, tired. I ain't gonna lie. That was a lot of running right there, what I did, and I don't think I was gonna be able to go that next play, so I just just told saying I just needed a break right there.
Did he think he was going to get a pop early, too? Because he said, I'm not even going to lie, smile. Thought he was going to get a pop from everybody. Yeah. It's complete opposite reaction. It is not a pop at all. It's like, hey, you seemingly think that we're lucky that you're a Colt. Bob, complete opposite. And I know he's been the most athletic person, and he's a cool dude, nice dude. Whenever he was in here, he was really nice to us. But it's like everything he's ever done, I assume he's been able to just kind of waltz his way out there and have success. You'll get your ass fired, brother. And everybody, and I think I heard Rex Ryan say that this morning, everybody in Colts fan base is basically having to buy into the fact that even though we've paid everybody this year and we have a good team and could have been the lead in the AFC South right there.
For sure.
Okay? We are forced to have a quarterback that has never played football before, really, because he was drafted number 4 overall, and he wasn't able to play last year because he got hurt. He also tapped out of a couple of those games, too, when medical results came back negative in this entire thing. But we just have to buy into the fact that the future, he's the future. So we're going to give him time because he has to play. It's like, how long does he have to play? Jordan Love didn't have to play. Whenever he came in, he was able to sit behind somebody. Patrick Mahomes sat behind Alex Smith for a year. Why is it the fact that he has to play is the only way he's going to get better because he doesn't have a lot of reps? It's like, so we just have to throw this year into the trash, even though we have a team that Jonathan Taylor's flying around like old Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah.
The offense line's moving people. Michael Pittman's making plays. Alec Pierce is making plays. Josh Downs is making plays. The defense, DeForest Buckner comes back, raising hell on it. Special teams is doing. It's like we have a team that could go, but instead we got to watch a quarterback that's going to be our future because he was drafted number 4 overall, didn't get to play last year because he got hurt with a shoulder injury that. I'm not even going to get into it, but like the whole conversation is like, you got to deal with it. And then we got Joey Flack sitting there. Joey Flack ran 20 miles an hour a couple weeks ago.
Right.
You know what his ass did off the couch in there? Just next play. Just wasn't tired, wasn't too exhausted, just continued to do it. It feels like it just showcases like a lack of awareness at all for a situation. And he's cool. He's cool. I like that he's cool. I do appreciate that. But, man, we got a team this year. 9-year NFL vet, host of Everything DB, Good D, Bad D, Darius J. Butler. I've never seen a quarterback tap out. I think it is a wild thing to happen. And you were acting like you didn't know that trivia question. He did.
I didn't know.
He did.
That's the tough one.
But everybody that has played football is reacting in the same fashion. And I don't know how AR comes back from this. Legitimately, I don't know what the bounce back is after this entire thing.
I mean, it's tough. And you said, a lot of the fan base is kind of, like surprised that he's still out there playing. A lot of the fan base still wanted to play, coming into this game at least. Like, hey, we need him to develop, need him to be the future of the team and all this other bullshit. But like, man, tapping out is one thing, and that is all-time bad. I think Rex was talking about this morning, been around the game forever. We've been around the game, watching the game forever, never seen it. But then after the game, you got the 15-minute cool-down period. Then you go stand in front of the media, and that's when you deliver your message. And then for you to say, I can't lie. I'm tired. Like, that's the time, hey, lie.
Yeah.
I know we talk about transparency and shit, but lie. But the bigger issue is not being in shape, not being that guy. You are the head. You're the head of the team. That's a huge third and goal in a pivotal game. You cannot do it. There's 52 other guys out there battling their ass off. You mentioned JT being out there, the defense being out there. He was getting beat up. He was getting pressured all day, but you got to find a way. You got to gut it out, make a big throw, make a big play. You're 22 years old. We expect you to be playing this league for 10, 15 years, but you talk about developing and all this other shit. Like, potential will get you fired. Potential will get coaches fired, GMs, other players will be looking for new teams because you're not winning, not living up to your standards. So that's all time bad, man. Not only tapping out, but then not having the awareness to know, like, hey, this shit ain't okay for you to say, hey, man, just need to take a breather. We seen Lamar Jackson, I think the first game of the season when they opened up against the Chiefs, he probably ran that for like 20 times.
He did.
Never see him tapping out. Never see him tap out. He's throwing the ball. He is most of their offense for them to be doing that. So, that's all-time bad for AR. And hopefully he learns from this. But week to week, going forward, everybody's fight. It's tough to win this league. You want the best option out there. I said it a few weeks ago. A bunch of people jumped on my ass about saying, hey, I think you go out there Flacco. He gives you the best chance now. Week in and week out to win. You go with Flacco and you let AR learn, maybe from the sideline, how to be a quarterback of a team. Hopefully he does, but man, this is the NFL, man. Not for long. We all know that.
Yeah, but I don't think he knows that. Like,
he better figure it out.
I don't think he has anybody telling him like, hey, like there's only 32 of those jobs right there. Like you are lucky to have one of those and to be forced in because of the situation that happened before you got to this program. And I know Chris Ballard and I assume Jim Irsay and Shane Steichen and everybody's aligned. And I was even on board last week, I was even on board or 2 weeks ago whenever he comes back in. It's like, all right, this is good for the future. We can win games still. We beat the Dolphins. Ugly. Not great offensively, efficiently, especially after what you watched Joe Flacco do the week before where it's just like,
Dices.
That's the other part.
Because he knows everything.
10 for 32?
There was drops, though. I don't want to get into making excuses for Anthony Richardson like I've been doing for like the last couple years. There were some drops, obviously. There were some situations that could have won another direction where somebody could have helped him out, maybe make a play for him.
Yeah.
So his completion percentage is certainly, they're saying like...
like the worst
Historic.
ever.
I actually have a graphic for that.
Another one?
Yeah. But like I said, we kind of went to work this morning. I don't know if you want to see the next graphic, but AR is a cool guy. However, Anthony Richardson ranks 222nd in completion rate, 50%, among the 225 QBs with 250 plus dropbacks since the year 2000. So when you're just talking about,
you really went to work, huh?
Yeah, well, I mean,
yeah. What are you? AR is a cool guy.
He is a cool guy.
Normally, the title of the graphic is supposed to be something you just want to make sure people knew that.
Yes, well, and that's it. I think that's what makes this the most frustrating.
It's because he would be.
The flashes that you see are like, holy shit, this guy's unbelievable. Like that last touchdown he had, the touchdown to the front corner of the end zone, that was unbelievable. And then we talk about like last year early on when he's running in touchdowns and doing 360 spikes. It's like he has the ability, and you mentioned like forever he's probably walked down the field and been the best player and the best athlete, and that has got him to where he is. But like now, you guys talk about it all the time, like now it's the best of the best. Now it's 20 plus years of dudes who are in the NFL who have always been that guy on the field. So like it not coming together, especially now after going through the whole potential year last year and the start of the season and having it be a very pivotal game, like it is brutal to watch just as a football fan, not even like an Indianapolis Colts fan.
This isn't an overreaction either.
No.
This is not good for the NFL as well. Like,
yes.
The quarterback position, okay? These dudes are making $60 million a year, okay, for a reason. Mm-hmm. You are the face of the franchise. You are everything that the franchise is supposed to embody. People say, the team takes on the personality of its coach. I agree. But if the quarterback isn't on board, none of that happens. The quarterback is in a position of leadership because they touch the ball every single play. They're going to get paid the most. They are the ones who the team goes if they go. So you being the one that everybody's looking at, I don't think he understands that either. I don't think he has a basic understanding of like how fragile your job can be in the NFL, how they can end immediately, and also like what you signed up to be whenever you decided to be an NFL quarterback. And he said, well, I didn't decide it. They drafted me to do it. It's like, well, you've been put into a position that millions of people would die to be in. And the quarterbacks that are great, and you can watch all these documentaries, they're all, think about Kirk Cousins, okay, in that quarterback's documentary. Gets hit, throws ball, right?
Yeah.
Immediately gets up, runs down the field, does it again.
Throws a touchdown.
Matthew Stafford, throws a touchdown. Matthew Stafford, like, broken neck, I think, broken shoulder.
Everything.
Like, running down the field in there. Peyton Manning never missed a snap, just never missed a snap. Patrick Mahomes, he's pissed that they're pulling him for his ankle.
Yeah.
Runs on his ankle. It's like the quarterback has to have a dog in them, while also remaining relatable, being incredibly savvy on the football field, being explosive, but also setting a standard for the rest of the team like, hey, we fucking play here. We don't tap out. Like, adversity is going to happen. And then if you're out of shape in week 8, listen, I was a punter, okay? I was a punter. There were some years I was fat. Got a little loose out there. Thought life was like when I was in my early 20s. It was not. Metabolism, the metabolic rate kind of slowed down, and I was living. Not going to break or not going to change what hasn't been broken, This has gotten me here. I'm going to continue to eat Pizza Hut.
Sure. Why wouldn't you?
I'm going to continue to, have 10 beers or whatever after a game. Like, I'm going to sleep terribly and poorly. So I inevitably, but I'm the punter, okay? I'm taking 3 steps. And nobody is expecting me to go ahead and act in a manner that everybody else can follow. So I put that tweet out yesterday just because I said, it's influential. That's because that radiates to the rest of the locker room. That sets the entire culture. Hey, this is what this team is. You get tired, guys, just tap out. Just go ahead and tap out. Wide receivers can do it. Running backs can do it. I've seen some DBs tap out in the past. They very rarely. Offensive linemen never.
No.
Right? Quarterbacks never. But why not Anthony Richardson? Why not just change the game?
Can't have it.
Why not be a tap-out guy? Why not be tap-out Anthony Richardson? It's like the thought that even crossed his mind is my biggest issue. And I think what happened was the week prior against Miami Dolphins, he had a long run, ran somebody over.
Yep.
We're standing 20 yards away from where our suite is. He gets up. He does a first down circle from his knees. Okay, then he gets up, and he is visibly exhausted. It is very obvious. Spitting, the whole thing, very tired. Next play, fumble.
Yep.
fumble which he did again this past weekend. They got to figure that out. I don't know how you fix the men gel point or whatever. They got to figure that out. So I think there was probably a conversation between him and somebody that's like, hey, if you're too tired to do your job, just tell somebody. And it's like the fact that they even have to tell him that. And that's not from inside sources. That's just from me watching. I think being the only person in the stadium saying he is dead tired. That guy is very, very tired.
You said it right away.
Yeah, because I've been there. I've been to that spit. When that thing is, when that's a thick spit and you're obviously exhausted, it's like, I've been that. I'm not in good. Punter, once again, chose to punt, so I didn't have to run. Like, that's literally what I did. So then when the fumble happens, I feel like there's probably a conversation with somebody. It was like, hey, if you're too exhausted, you think something's going to go bad, get off the field. But like week 8 of the NFL season, that cannot be. You're a professional athlete, dude. Somebody needs to tell you. Somebody needs to tell you that you're a professional athlete and you're getting paid to do this. Could you imagine, like, any of these actual jobs in the world? Military folks, cops, ambulance, firefighters, teachers, whatever the case. And I know they get off days or whatever. But like, whenever 3rd and long, division opponent, like let's count that as massive moment in profession. Massive moment in profession, in career. Could you imagine the leader of the group just being like, actually, I'm all ready for it. I'm a little bit tired. I'm going to go take a break and walk out. No, you couldn't. And they're not making millions of dollars. It's like just every part of it is bad. Every single part of it is bad. And it's a bummer. And I didn't like that we just spent that much time. It's all because you're trivia. I hope you're happy, buddy. I hope you're happy.
I mean, you said it. It's like, it's the maturity thing, and whether it's fair or not, like, that's the position you get put into. Like, he's the starting quarterback of an NFL team, and it's not college anymore. Like, you're relying, like, guys are relying on you for their livelihoods. It's not just like, hey, we're going to go out there and have fun. Like you mentioned it, like, he's the CEO of $1 billion franchise. Whether he wants that or not, he is. And to your point about like the teachers and all these other people who have difficult jobs, like if you're in that position and you're running $1 billion company and you're shitty at your job, like guess what? It's not just going to be like, oh, well, we're just going to keep him around. He needs to learn. He'll eventually get there. It's like, no, guess what? Like this is the way it goes. I mean, you talk about Luck, who was kind of like the other side of that. Like
Andrew Luck.
Yeah, exactly. Who like was too respectful and like almost didn't want to push buttons. But like, I think he was a leader. Like, again, stuff like this, like that shit just doesn't happen in the NFL. You can't say that. Like, you can't say that. It's not intramural flag football in college. Like, you're playing in the NFL. You just, and not having the wherewithal to know you can't say that after the game. Like, that's the more troubling part.
Do you have any more graphics on it, pal?
Yeah, we do. Do you want them now, or do you want to wait? Or?
I don't believe you.
Yeah. There's another one. There's another one back there. Yeah, here we go.
Oh, geez.
Tap out Richardson. First QB to ask for a break in the fourth quarter due to being tired.
Fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean to be fair,
you kind of soup up your stats.
Well, no, I kind of let the graphics department, take their creative liberties, and it seems one of them decided to put the fourth quarter. It wasn't the fourth quarter, but he is the first.
Which is even worse. It was earlier in the game, and he was tired. Oh my God. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I just got in here.
No, please. Earlier in the game, I forgot. I didn't even think about that. It is worse.
Every part of it's bad. Literally every part of it's bad. If it was fourth quarter, he had 150 yards rushing. It's like, all right,
fine.
No. You can see you're a little exhausted.
No, still not good.
Took a few licks.
I would make excuses for him right here. I would if I beg your guy's quarterback couldn't do that. Mm-hmm. And then somebody say, well, Lamar did. Well, Lamar's a different animal. He's obviously that's the whole song and dance that I would have done. Mm-hmm. Instead, it's earlier in the game. It's even worse. I get it. He's not completing passes. But he said this after the game about not completing passes. He actually talked about what type of quarterback he is.
I feel like I'm a great passer. I've been playing quarterback pretty much my whole life. I'm just a different quarterback from everybody else, so people going to try to point out that I'm not as efficient as everybody else, but it's cool to me. I run the ball way better than every other quarterback. Probably not Lamar, but than most quarterbacks. So I take advantage of my opportunities. I just use my powers to the best of my ability, and when I am delivering the ball, I feel good about it. When I'm running it, I feel good about it as well.
You are a phenomenal running quarterback, brother. That is why you can't change your style of play, and the Colts have to call the game in a manner of this. You're going to run, and you're going to get hit, and you're going to get tackled. But if you're going to run, then, you see, there is a chance you're going to have to be in shape to run. Mm-hmm. I mean, that is I can't even. It's the NFL. It's the highest level.
Yeah.
This is the highest level.
Pinnacle.
That was for the AFC South lead yesterday. That was a massive game.
Top of a division.
That was a massive game in an AFC that, hey, listen, There's a chance here because this is something that obviously as a Colts fan, whenever you're watching AR play football, there's moments of magic like this right there. Ooh, that's a moment of magic. In an AFC South, to take the lead in the division game, massive game down there in Houston, every single year it counts. After a huge run to get back to the gain of 0, obviously, shedding a guy, tapping out. It's a quarterback doing that. And he would come out after the game and say it was because he was tired. So, piling on this entire thing about never seeing that before, okay. What do you think of the quarterback position, though, and why do you think we all think it's such a big deal that a quarterback decided to do that? What is the role of a quarterback whenever they're representing a team? Because for me, the reason why I'm reacting the way I am, D-Buddy's reacting the way he is, everybody on TV, it's like quarterback doesn't tap out. Like that is just not how it goes, especially if it's because you're just tired. It's week 8. You're 22 years old. Let's not be tired either. But it's like, what do you think the role of a quarterback is, and why do you think everybody is so dumbfounded by this particular happening, Coach?
Well, I think on some teams, and I haven't been a part of too many of these teams, but I have had this conversation with quarterbacks. A lot of times, and as you know, Pat and AJ, as you know, like the quarterbacks don't always do everything that everybody else does, right? They don't necessarily do all the lifting or squatting or conditioning or things like that. And so I've seen situations where quarterbacks, after running around for, 2 or 3 plays, in a row, getting chased around on scrambles and things like that, that they are a little winded. And you look back on it and say, well, they weren't doing the sprints with the rest of the team. Maybe they were throwing to the receivers, or they didn't lift with the rest of the team, because they don't lift, and that type of thing. And sometimes with the specialists, Pat, you've probably seen that too with some of the specialists.
Hell yeah.
But I know with guys like Brady and Burt Jones and Testaverde and some of those guys like that I've coached, those guys, and look, I'll say this about Bernie Kosar. Bernie Kosar was slow, okay? But Bernie Kosar never failed a conditioning test. And that was about work. It wasn't about speed. It was about work. And he always passed it. Brady always passed it. Brady's not fast either, but he worked. Testaverde worked. Matt Castle worked. Like, those guys really worked hard, and they were about as good as they could be. And so conditioning was never an issue with those guys because they ran the hill after practice with everybody else. They lifted with everybody else. Same thing with the specialists. Same thing with, the other skill players like that. And so I do think that there's a mentality about the quarterbacks that, you need to be maybe not the best conditioned player on the team, but, honestly, you should be in really good condition as a quarterback, just as a leader. And, I got into a situation with a couple of my, ex-quarterbacks and about what they thought conditioning should be, what I thought conditioning should be. And that was that was a head-on collision. But, I've been fortunate with a lot of these guys that they really take conditioning as seriously as they do, in spite of the fact that, you hear quarterbacks say, well, if I ever have to run a 40, we're in a lot of trouble. Well, that may be true, but nevertheless, you just can't stand back there a whole game, every game. There's going to be times when you do have to run and do have to, move around a little bit. And the better you can do it, then the more you're going to help the team. And that comes with strength, too, whether that's on quarterback sneaks or, trying to pick up an extra yard in a 4th and 1 situation when you really need it. I mean, in the end, like that stuff, everything counts. Everything counts. It's not just, the last play. It's everything along the way. And so, again, I don't know what it was with Richardson or not. I can't comment on that, but I can tell you the guys that I've coached, they all recognize the importance of it, and they did it. And, that was good. I mean, Zappe, after his rookie year, he lost about 10 pounds, 12 pounds, whatever it was, and kind of changed his body around, and he improved his conditioning a lot. Again, I'm not saying that these guys are Olympians, but you get to the best position you can be, and best athletic ability you can be for that position, and that helps you.
Isn't it crazy, though, that you never see the quarterback position tap out? That's a big part of it, don't you think? Like leading a team, being a lead. You talk about the conditioning and not just, watching everybody else run while you don't do anything, and what message that sends to your team. But a quarterback is just kind of expected to just be out there if they can't. That's just kind of an expectation. I think that's why it was so jarring, just to be like, yeah, bring in the 6 man. As if you're playing another position or sport, almost, it felt like he was doing. It's like so jarring. I don't even know how to respond. I don't know how to react. He would go back in the game, lead a touchdown drive. I mean,
almost win.
breather.
I don't think C.J. Stroud is tapping out when he's winded. I don't think Patrick Mahomes is tapping out whenever he's winded. I don't think Jared Goff is going to be tapping out whenever he's winded.
Nope.
I don't think Jordan Love is going to be doing it. Lamar Jackson's going to be doing it. I don't think Russell Wilson's ever going to tap out.
Josh Allen.
I don't think Josh Allen's going to tap out. That's my thing, Bill. I don't know if quarterbacks even know they're allowed to do that. You know, I don't even.
Right.
He's going to get back. He's going to learn from it. He's young. He's 22. Why are you tired when you're 22? You should be able to run. I mean, it's a never-ending